Hello, crafters. That's a fun noise. Give me 1 second. It's always something. You hear that? That's fun, right? Okay. So, hello everybody. Welcome to this solo edition of Crafting with Makerflow. So you will have me and Jesse today. I said solo prematurely. I'm technically the only one on, but Jesse's still here. Feel free to drop in comments as you think of them, and welcome for coming today. We're going to have a little bit of a different live where I'm going to take a lot of your suggestions. What we wanted to do specifically is a full walkthrough on how to find your sublimation design, print it out, cut it, get it ready to sublimate, and sublimate it. So we're going to try to do that with a cup. We might try to do that with a flat item too if we get through it. But I figured today would be a great day to actually test everything out from start to finish and see the whole process. That way you guys can see not only us finding it on Creative Fabrica, us getting it sized in AI, and then printing it on the Epson. So the whole thing, including sublimation. But yeah, so hopefully that sounds fun to you guys, and thanks again for being here. Jesse is making magic happen, I think, on my computer.
Right, so there's a lot of static.
Oh, okay. Hopefully. Let us know, guys. I can also try to move my mic, too. But thank you for letting us know. And we'll give that a second to do its thing. But yeah, let us know, guys. Who do we have on so far?
So we have Ryan, says hello,
Hey,
Jennifer, Nancy.
Hey, Jennifer.
Gloria.
Nancy and Gloria. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys again. I appreciate your patience with me today. I am not used to doing the whole thing by myself, so bear with me. First thing we like to talk about on these lives is just a quick reminder of things going on. Did you say it's better or worse?
Ryan said we're about to make coffee cups for our local store. They are about to open a coffee and bakery shop. Something coffee would be awesome.
Ryan, that's really cool. I've got a doozy here and slim 20-ounce skinny. So I've got a couple of items for you. So we can kind of pick between those two. And then I also have a wind spinner and a tea towel for my flat items. All right, so we're going to try it again. Hopefully that helped. Again, sorry for trying to deafen you guys today. Was not my intention. Of all the things I worried about, that was not one of them. So yay for something new. But yeah, sounds better? Awesome. Cool. But yeah, I think we could do something with coffee for sure. I will say on the next live that we do, I'm going to try to squeeze in an engraving on a mug on that one too. We'll see how quickly I can get that done on the F1. But the goal is for that to actually have an engraved coffee mug for an upcoming podcast this week. So if you guys haven't heard, Mark and John are doing their first ever fully Makerflow, fully Mark and John podcast. And that starts again Thursday. It's going to be at 5:30 Arizona time, which is MST. Should be good? Okay. Can I have my mouse back too?
Yes.
Thank you. Awesome. So once we get to where we're on Creative Fabrica and all that, then we'll actually show you the whole process. So I'll use the laptop for that, but for now it's going to hang tight next to me. But yeah, so let's keep talking about updates. We don't really have... I know we do have some new bundles on the site, so if you guys haven't looked at the Build a Bundle section recently, they did just add a few things to sublimation, including the oven. So there's a lot more things that you can get in your bundle of 25 to get you to save an extra 10%. So really cool stuff there. I know we also just launched the decanter set, so you can actually go and find the decanter gift set, pick your box, pick your decanter, basically the whole thing. So it's really cool, but definitely check those out, guys. Anything else? Do we have anything else that I'm missing, Jesse?
None at the moment.
Oh, actually, there is one more thing.
There you go.
There's always one more thing. We're doing a live demo with our friends at the Laser Maker Con, and that'll be this Friday. So that is happening, I want to say at 3 p.m. our time, Mountain Standard Time, but we'll post to our stories about 24 hours in advance to give you guys a reminder. So lots of fun stuff coming up, specifically this week. So yeah, stay tuned with us, and we'll show you some cool stuff, hopefully. But first things first. So we're going to start with cups. Which cup would we do today? First one to get 3 votes is going to be the winner. I have a 20-ounce skinny, and I have a 12-ounce slim doozy. So let me know which one you would like done. We're going to do the whole thing, start to finish.
Let's see. Let's hear the votes.
I like how the holographic shines when I move the boxes. It's pretty cool.
It shimmers.
It's like magic.
And then Jennifer said she needs the sippy cups back in stock.
Me
And
too, Jennifer.
Ryan said he can't wait for the skinny tumblers.
Skinny, okay.
Carrie said hi. No, he said the colored skinny tumblers.
Ah, gotcha,
like
gotcha.
The powder coated ones. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Can't wait for them to be back in stock. And then we have 2 votes for Slim Doozy.
Awesome. Let's do the doozy then. There's the third one. Perfect.
Yep.
Cool. So doozy it is. So we'll do the doozy today. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to pull up my computer because we're going to look up a design first. And then while it's printing, we'll prep our cup. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see it too. Give me one sec.
And then we have Melissa Morris. It's sounds good. She's in Fort Worth, Texas.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting us know.
She's from YouTube.
Huh?
She's from YouTube.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. That podcast that we're going to do is going to be specifically on YouTube. So if you enjoy our shenanigans, you just wait till you see the jefes, as they like to say, the bosses. But they have a lot of fun with us. Let's see. I'm going to share my entire screen. Here we go. Share. Okay. So you guys should be able to see my screen. What we're going to start with is let's go to Creative Fabrica. Okay. So we'll go ahead and pull up that site. Should be loading for us momentarily once my computer decides to respond. Basically here, we use a lot of designs from Creative Fabrica. It's one of the sites that you can actually get free designs for when you work with us. So like if you place an order, you're going to get automatically a little flyer with a 30-day trial for Creative Fabrica. But let's go ahead and get logged in real quick. Okay, looks like I am. Yes, Jesse.
I have a question for
Sure.
everybody. Is the screen fuzzy? It was like your computer screen was fuzzy at first, but it looks like it cleared up. And then Jennifer said, when are we going to do the podcast?
It's going to be Thursday, and that's at 5:30 p.m. MST. I think you can sign up for updates too if you go to the YouTube channel that we have at MakerFlow's YouTube. It's on the very home page. You can sign up for those updates to get an alert too. But okay, so we have Creative Fabrica up. I think Ryan asked for a coffee image, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we'll type in coffee. My computer is very slow today. Okay. Coffee. Bear with me. Sorry for this, guys. All right, so we'll do coffee and let's just look at the 20 skinny wraps. That sounds like a good idea, so we'll go ahead and click that one. Okay, so here's one. Today's vibe, coffee, lots of coffee. What do you guys think? That look good to you? We'll go ahead and try that one. Okay, download. And then after it's downloaded, we'll see a little icon pop up to let us know that that's what it's doing. Let's see. There it is. Okay. So we'll give it a second. It should be downloading now. Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the folder that it's in. So one thing is we want to make sure that we unzip it. So we'll go ahead and extract. Okay. Now if you guys are carefully watching my screen, you might see some sneak peeks at some things coming up, including a fun YouTube video with our friend where she teaches us how to build a bundle. So I'm not sure if Ashley's on yet, but she is about to be part of the party. Yes, Jesse?
Ashley is not on yet. Kenna said she loves Creative Fabrica. So many good things. Well worth the subscription after the 30 days.
Absolutely.
Karen LaPaz said, hey guys.
Hey, how's it going, Karen?
Kenna said, you're doing great, Sam.
Awesome. Thank you, Kenna. Long time no chat, huh? Next thing I want to do is I'm going to pull up the MakerFlow site. The reason for this, guys, is you can measure your cups. A lot of people will do that. Or you can go to the site and you can find the measurements there as well. So I usually just go to the site and I'll go ahead and look up the blank that I'm looking for. Everything's kind of laid out really nicely, easy to find stuff. So if you haven't been to the site recently, make sure you check it out. But everything's pretty self-explanatory. Here is our 12-ounce Slim Doozy, so we'll click on that. All right, so now we want to go down here to where we see the product specifications. Perfect. So right here. Okay, and so we click on this little down arrow, and it's actually going to give us all of the dimensions for the doozy. So that includes the height. It's going to also have like all of the information of what it comes with, the temperature, the care information. So everything's on here that you would need. So for this one, it's going to be, let's see, 6.06 by 2.87 diameter. So another cool thing about this is we can actually find where the template is for it. Let's go ahead and see where that is real quick. Yeah. Okay, so right here, so we keep scrolling down, there's going to be a template for it as well. So if you prefer using the template and you don't want to size it, you can do this as well. I personally don't really like to use the templates, so what I like to do is I'll come to this and I will look at what the length is. So the circumference is 9, and the height is going to be 5.78. So those are the dimensions that I want to use. You can give yourself a little bit of extra wiggle room if you'd like. That way you can make sure that your print is big enough, but that's how you'll want to decide that. So we'll leave this page up here just so when we go back to it. Now let's go ahead and pull up AI. First thing you'll see is a project I was working on actually for my friend Kenna, so don't mind that. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new project. And I'm going to go ahead and do this as a letter, 8.5 by 11, because that is the size of paper I want to use. Perfect. Okay. All right, so now I've got that ready to go. I'll go ahead and pull up my design. I have it here, I believe. There it is. Okay. So now I'm going to drag the design into AI. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so now we have it in AI. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and match up the sizes. So for those with a short memory like me, let's go ahead and pop back on and see what the sizes were. So it was 9 circumference, so that's going to be the width, and then the height is 5.78. So let's pull that back up. All right, so the width we want to do 9. Right now it is 9.3. I'm going to go ahead and just edit that to 9.2 to give myself some wiggle room. And then we said 5.87 for the height. So let's actually do, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do 6 inches just to be sure. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we want to twist this so that it fits on the page. So let's go ahead and turn it 90 degrees. Perfect. Okay, so now you have a print that is ready to go. So we'll go ahead and print this out. File, print. And you want to make sure that everything looks good. It's all within the paper. Perfect. The document size matches the media size. We'll go ahead and click print because it's already on my Epson. And I loaded paper earlier. Again, we're using the 8.5 by 11 just because that fits well within the size that we're looking for. And it should be printing right now. There it is. Okay.
And then right now everyone's kind of hanging out and watching.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we're done with the computer part of it. So let's go ahead and let me stop sharing my screen before you see all of our upcoming secrets. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to put this away for now, but let me know if you guys thought that was cool, if you enjoyed kind of watching along on the screen. It's something that we'll try to do a little bit more often. We might be able to do it again in this same live if we get to the flat items, but we'll see. So while that image is printing out, we're going to go ahead and we'll get the cup ready. So we're doing the Slim Doozy. So we'll go ahead and open this up. So I see someone saying mirror image, right?
Yeah.
So what's awesome is I'm actually using my Epson F170. Because it's a sublimation printer, you do not need to mirror it. It does that for you. So great call out, but yeah, we didn't need to. And then let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, let me know if you thought that was interesting or helpful to kind of see the process through the computer instead of us just kind of trying to tell you what to do. And look at that, hot off the press. And see how it kind of comes out already mirrored for us. You guys, it looks the right way, I think, to you because it's the opposite. But yeah, it'll work perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and set that aside for now. Again, we're opening the cup. This is the doozy. So if you guys have gotten this before, you'll know that it comes with a straw as well as an extra lid for the tumbler. So if you don't want it to be a can holder, it can also just be a regular lid on its own. So we'll go ahead and put this back in here. Okay. And then we don't need the little plastic part of it, so we'll go ahead and take that off, put that inside. Got your little care card in here too. We'll go ahead and put that to the side. And I'm just gonna leave my little doozy upside down and set the box to the side for now.
And then they did like seeing, like kind of following along on the computer as well.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we're trying to bring you new stuff all the time, so hopefully some of that stuff will work out. If it doesn't, feel free to let us know. It will not hurt our feelings. It'll just make us better. All right, but now we're going to go ahead and cut out this design. With this one, I will just use scissors. If you guys have like those little cutting machines, those usually help you get the straightest edge possible. So if you have those, definitely use that. We're just going to use our crafting scissors that come with the little toolkit on the site. So I'll just go ahead and do that, and I'll cut as close to the edges as possible. But yeah, feel free to let me know if you guys have questions as we go. We'll get those answered for you. And then I did want to remind everybody, I hope you all have checked for the buzzword today. Don't put it in the chat because I don't want to give anyone an unfair advantage. But if you have not checked the buzzword, it is still in our stories. Make sure you're checking that out. You never know when Mark or John will be jumping in, so you want to just be ready with that buzzword when they do. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, let me know. We can talk about it a little bit. I'm going to just keep cutting as close to the edges as possible. Again, remember, we gave ourselves a little bit of wiggle room, so this should be bigger than the image anyway, so we should have some extra room to work with, but we'll see. All right. I will ask you guys a question. Who knows that we had templates on the site already? And then bonus question, who's actually using them? I want to know who's using the templates, if they work well for you, and what you think. Yes, Jesse?
Karen says she loves the care cards, and how many ounces is the cup?
Great question. The care cards are amazing, and it's a 12-ounce slim doozy. So it'll hold 12 ounces of liquid or any of those slim cans. So perfect. Now let's go ahead and get this wrapped around. Let's see, today's vibe is coffee. So if we want it to be upside down, it would be like this. Perfect. And yeah, see how this is a bit bigger than the cup itself? So we have plenty of room to work with. I'm usually just gonna go ahead and center it as best I can. With these ones, because we did make it a little bigger, there's gonna be some overlap. So let's decide what side we like better. I'm gonna say this side is the one we wanna keep. So we'll go ahead and we'll put tape on the back side of this one. So let me go ahead and do that real quick before we get this wrapped. And I am using my wide sublimation tape from the site. We have wide and skinny, but for some reason this one's just my favorite. I feel like you need less tape when you use it, but it's really up to you what you want to do. Jesse, do you do a lot of sublimation?
No, I haven't.
No?
Mainly just on the trade shows.
When you do, which one do you prefer?
Prefer what?
The wide or the skinny tape?
I like the white tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just covers more ground.
That's exactly it, right? Think
Yeah,
smarter, not harder.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't have to use as many strips.
Exactly. Cool. All right, so we've got this lined up with the tape on it. Now let's go ahead and center our image. I'm going to go ahead and do right here. Awesome. Okay. Now with these, it depends on how you want it to line up. Because we made ours a little bit bigger than it needs to be, I'm going to go ahead and just center it right over and make sure that the bottoms line up. Whenever you are wrapping these, do we want to switch cameras, Jesse? Okay. So whenever you are wrapping these tumblers, you want to make sure that the bottom is what lines up. As long as this bottom part down here lines up together with the two seam lines, then you're good to go. So we'll go ahead and we'll make that match. Perfect. And let's go ahead and start with some tape. So I'm going to do one piece of tape just to make sure that I have it with good pressure and that it's all lined up the way I want it to be. So I did that one piece, and I'm going to go ahead and just give it a good shake. See how it doesn't move? If it were to slide, you would want to undo it and add some more tape to it and give it a little bit more pressure. But since we're good there, let's just add a few more pieces. So I'll do one here, and then I'll do one in the middle, down here. Perfect. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap all the way around the bottom. With this one, I'm going to go ahead and start at the bottom of the tumbler and work my way around. So I'm going to lay that down right where the overlap starts and just go all the way around the tumbler. Now, you might think that I'm using a little bit much tape, but that's totally normal. We're using the oven for this cup. So we want to make sure that it is wrapped tightly with pressure and tape, because otherwise you're going to get some ghosting. With the oven, because it doesn't provide any of its own pressure, you have to kind of do that work for it. So we'll go ahead and make sure that's nice and tight, and then we'll do the same thing to the top. Okay. Line it up again toward the edge of the paper without going over, and we'll go all the way around. Make sure you're reinforcing with pressure as you go around. It's really up to you how you want to do it. I like to use the roller. I just think it makes it a little easier, but again, it's up to you. Perfect. So now I have the top and the bottom all done. We're going to go ahead and go from the bottom to the top. For this one, I like to keep the base of the tumbler against the tape dispenser, and then I'll pull the tape all the way to the edge like this. I'm going to wrap it over, and I'm going to tuck it in. I'm going to use pressure to go all the way down this seam line. Okay, awesome. Now with this one, we do have a lot of excess on the top here, so let's go ahead and trim that out. So we'll trim that in just a moment. It gets a little warm next to the oven. Okay, so here we go. The reason why I'm trimming is just because I want to leave as little room for bending of the paper as possible. Basically, the more that the paper bends, the more chance of like air pockets you're creating. So we'll go ahead and just leave that to the side for now. This is trimmed nicely. The next thing you want to do is make sure that the seam line underneath is covered as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use my little straightening tool here, and I'm actually going to trace right where that paper would have ended, and I'm going to go ahead and just do another line of tape across it. So once you've identified that line, for me, mine is right here. I'm going to go ahead and go over it with tape. And again, that's just to make sure that the the paper that's underneath is also laying down flat. With the wide tape, it is a little bit of overkill, honestly, but I would rather use a little bit more tape than get some ghosting. So that's what we're going to do. Now, next thing we want to do is we're going to go all the way around the bottom and all the way around the top. This time, we're going to go ahead and fold it over the edges. So I'll start with the bottom again. And please make sure you guys are asking questions if you have them. This process is very familiar to me, so I could maybe do this with my eyes closed. Maybe that's a future live coming soon, but yeah. So just let me know if you guys have questions along the way.
Everyone's kind of just hanging out and watching.
Awesome. All right, while we're all watching, I can ask, how was everybody's weekend? I know usually we start with that, but I was nervous, so I didn't. But yeah, feel free to drop it in the comments. Let us know if you guys were crafting, if you guys had events. We'd love to hear about them. But yeah, share with us what's going on. Over here, personally, it's very warm, so I know I didn't do a whole lot this weekend. How about you, Jesse?
Yeah, not a whole lot either. It is, yeah, I agree, very, very warm.
It's too hot.
I think got up to like 116 over the weekend.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully nobody else is dealing with this other than Kenna and us, but yeah. I think I need to make us some new tape dispenser inserts. Here we go. Okay. Now we'll go around the top. Perfect. Okay, cool. So I have enough tape to go all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and tuck that paper over, making sure it stays nice and tightly against the cup. Okay, so I have that all fully wrapped up. Got the bottom nice and wrapped. Everything looks pretty good to me. So we can go ahead and toss this in the oven. Yes, Jesse?
So Jennifer said she's very busy. She went to Albuquerque.
Awesome.
Karen asked, is that 16 ounces?
Good question, Karen. It is actually 12 ounces.
And then, let's see, Tammy said worked on orders all weekend and hung out in the pool.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah. And then Carrie said she crafted this weekend. The weather in Cali has been nice.
Oh, that's awesome. We're going to set a timer really quick. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 6 minutes. All right, thank you. Okay, so the timer's going, guys. We have 6 minutes. You'll notice I did go ahead and leave this one standing, so I don't need to flip it halfway through. It sounds like everybody had a really fun and crafty weekend, so that's awesome. Do we want to switch cameras? Cool. But yeah, so thank you guys for coming out and checking this out. I did want to double check. Did anyone have questions on the buzzwords? Do we know what those are? Do we know how to find out what they are if we don't? And do we know why we need to know them? Just let me know, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But yeah. All right. So for now, we have our cup baking. We can, while we're waiting for that. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, we still have 15 minutes. We might be able to do a quick thing. So let's let that bake, and I'm going to pull out my computer again, and let's go through that process one more time of ordering. And while we're picking out a design, we can go ahead and get that all printed and ready to go. So let me know. First one with 3 votes is the winner. Should we do a wind spinner or a tea towel? Wind spinner or tea towel, let me know. And then while you guys are deciding that, I'm going to grab my laptop real quick. All right. Okay, and then we'll share the screen in just a moment. Here we go.
Got 1 for wind spinner, 2 for towel.
Okay.
And then Kenna said, any chance that 30-ounce sublimation with the handles tumblers coming out? 30-ounce sub with the handles.
Not anytime soon, to my knowledge. I have not seen a prototype for it yet, so I would be very surprised if I saw it.
And then we got
soon.
4 for towel.
All right, the towel has it. Any particular theme we want, guys? First one to give me a theme is going to win. So I'm not expecting you all to think the same thing. We have 4th of July coming up. We could do something like that. Let me know.
There you go. That's cool. 4th of July. We got 5th for towel.
5th for towel. The next one. Okay. So, did we have any ideas coming through?
We got 1 for summer, 1 for fireworks, funny animal, and 4th of July is good.
I think 4th of July and summer are pretty similar, so let's go with that.
As well as fireworks.
Yeah.
It all kind of ties in. And then our friend Ashley said hi.
Hi, Ashley. How's it going? All right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, cool. So sorry about that. For as long as we wanted them to. And this one doesn't want to go in my ear, so just bear with me a moment. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so we're back. So now we're looking Creative Fabrica. We searched 4th of July, and look what came out. I really like this one, red, white, and feral. I think that's pretty funny. Let's see. They have some really funny designs in here. So you can feel free to kind of check through this. So if you guys were looking for some inspiration, I definitely think we have some here. Again, we've got to do the raccoon because he's pretty cool, and we've done this one before. Well, we've done a similar one. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and print him out. Yes, Jesse.
Ashley said it's okay. We're just stressing her out this week.
Oh no.
Jennifer said the same. Yeah, it's been a stressful week.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully it gets better. I mean, it is only Tuesday, so hopefully it just moves up from here. Let me go and pull up the image real quick. I'm gonna do the same thing as the last one where I unzip it. Perfect. Extract. Okay. All right. And then I promise you guys a sneak peek since Ashley's here. So let's go ahead and just pull that up real quick. So you guys can just kind of see this that's coming soon. Build a bundle, and then some of these little shoulders right here. So that's it. That's all you get for now. Okay, so back to this. We went ahead and we're doing the red, white, and feral. Yes, Jesse.
Ashley said it's so funny that the raccoons are all the rage right now.
Yeah, I think. I mean, who doesn't like a raccoon, right? Unless you actually have to deal with them, I'm sure. And I bet they're no fun at all. So let's go ahead and delete this other image. We don't need it anymore. And then we're gonna go ahead and drag that raccoon over. Here we go. Perfect. Now, what's nice about the tea towel is it's really big. So we can basically make this as big as the paper. So let's first go ahead and flip it. We'll do 90. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and resize it. There's a couple things over here you can do. So if you have this selected, then basically it's going to adjust proportionately. So it'll keep you from having a stretched image. So let's go and adjust proportionately and get it within the size of the paper. Let's see, that looks pretty good to me. Maybe just bring it a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, cool. So then we go ahead and print that out. Also, my timer just went off. So I'm going to print this, and then let's go ahead and grab that cup out of the oven. Perfect. So hopefully that kind of makes sense, guys, on how we did that. Grabbing the image from Create Fabrica, unzipping it, and then pulling it up in AI, and then resizing it. So there's other programs you can use. You don't have to use AI. It's just kind of what we use here. Yes, Jesse.
I said at the summer camp I worked at as a teen, they would come up to us and take food out of our hands. They were not scared at all.
The raccoons or the children? No, I don't know if you guys know what Ashley does, but she has the patience of a saint. And feel free to share if you'd like to share, Ashley, but I'm very proud of you. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Okay, cool. Let's check on that cup before it burns. I'm gonna grab my little oven mitt and we'll pull that out. Okay, perfect. Cool. All right, so I got my cup out. I'm gonna go and close this. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna let that cool for just a moment, and then let's go ahead and do we have time? Yeah, I'm gonna turn on my heat press. Yes, Jesse.
Becca asked, shouldn't it be flipped?
Shouldn't it be flipped?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you mean to cover the design.
The design I did not have to flip because we're using the F170. So with the F170, it's gonna mirror the image for you automatically. And as far as the cup, the way that I had it in the oven, let me just show you really quick, was like this. Yeah, see? Yeah, it's gonna come out great. So we've got this cup here like this. See how this is the opening? I always leave the opening face down. That way it doesn't burn the bottom of the cup because I leave the rack very close to where the actual oven coils are. So that's kind of how I prevent that from burning. But yeah, that's perfect.
So Nancy said, how can I find AI to use Canva? Which do you think is easier?
Canva's pretty easy too. I just personally I use AI because that's what I'm used to using. But I would say Canva is probably the cheaper option of the two. So it really just depends. AI has a lot of different tools in it though as well. So if you're more like graphic design savvy, that might be your jam. Otherwise, just start out with Canva. It's really easy too. Let's see, for my temperature, we want to do 385, right, Jesse?
I believe so, but I'll double check.
Okay, and then let me know the time too if you don't mind. All right, while Jesse's looking up that.
So Ashley said AI Adobe's a go.
There you go.
And she also said the kid who pushed me yesterday apologized again and gave me a hug.
Aw.
A little sus.
Yeah, I would be too. You're all too soon. But at least, they apologize. Maybe they are turning a new leaf. That's good.
Don't believe me.
Jesse says, don't believe him. Awesome. And I'm just picking out any exposed tape for now. That way I can go ahead and just unpeel my design.
We got 3 for 30 seconds, light pressure.
380 for 30 seconds. Okay, cool. I'll give this another second. So cool. And let me go ahead and just adjust this really quick. So 380 and 30 seconds.
Said thank you. And then Ashley said, at least it wasn't another kid threatening to kill me.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad for that. Glad that did not happen.
Definitely a plus.
But yeah, Nancy, these are great questions. Keep them up, guys. If you have any other kind of thoughts along the way, let us know. We are happy to get these questions answered for you. All right. Let's see, this is peeling pretty nicely. I usually like to go along the seam line just because that's where most of the tape is. Plus, since there's those two layers of paper, you have less chances of scratching your cup. You have a little bit more protection to work with there. So that's kind of what I do. But it's up to you, whatever works best for you. Yes, Jesse.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Perfect. I think we're going to get this unwrapped. We're going to get the other thing pressed, and then we're going to call it. Yeah, look at us doing things. It's a great question, Ashley. I couldn't tell you exactly where he is, but I can give you an estimate. He's somewhere in Georgia. He's got some family things going on this week and next week. So you're actually going to have to deal with me for 2 weeks in a row by myself. It's wild, I know. But hopefully it's enjoyable. And if you guys have ideas for the next live, we're all ears. Feel free to submit those in that suggestion box. I did put the link on our stories as well. I want to say twice. So if you guys want to know how to make those suggestions, check out the stories and you'll see them. And I am almost done getting this cup open. I just taped it so well, you see, that it doesn't want to come undone. There we go. I think it's cool by now too. Oh, awesome. Thank you guys. I do get nervous, but it's helpful to have friends, so we appreciate it for sure. All right, this is coming out pretty good so far. I don't have any real complaints other than the mess I'm making, but that's my doing. So let's see. Got it just about open for you. Here we go. What do we think, guys? We're going to go to this little side camera here. See how it is printed in the correct direction. Today's vibe is coffee. I have to say the steam's not too shabby either. It looks pretty good. And hey, look at that. My heat press just finished heating up. So let's go ahead and slide this out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and get our little image. So we got this raccoon. Since it's so big, we're actually going to have to do a few different presses of it. So let me just move my stuff to the side here. And I have my little press and my sheet here. I think we might need to zoom out a little bit, Jesse, if possible. Sorry. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right, so I am using just a cutting board and my silicone crafting mat. The reason for the cutting board is just to make sure that it's a nice flat surface because I have used epoxy on this table before, so you never know. And then I went ahead and got a little parchment paper too. Yes, Jesse. Awesome. Awesome.
And then Karen asked Ashley where she works, and she's a fine art coordinator at a community center.
There you go. That's Ashley for you. That's really cool that you get to do all of that and that you're willing to do all of that for the kids. I'm sure they appreciate it, or at least they will eventually. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pre-press this a little bit. So I know I just have a few minutes left, 2 minutes actually, but let's go ahead and see if we can get this done real quick. So I'm just going to get out some of these lines. We always recommend that you pre-press your items before, and that's just to iron out any creases. There we go. I'm going to set this right in the middle here. We're going to go ahead and press it in 2 different pressings, and we should be good to go. Let's see. So I'm trying. That's the goal, right? Is that we can kind of show you guys how to work with these products, how easy they are. The fact that you guys were able to not only pick the size of the cup that I'm doing, the item that I'm doing, pick the design, and we got all that done in about 30 minutes. So we're able to do a custom cup. We're doing a custom towel right now. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. With tools like Creative Fabrica and the MakerFlow guides that we have, is a lot of ways to kind of do it smarter and not have to put all of the know-how in yourself. So we're gonna do just a few different pressings. I want to kind of make sure that I get this whole thing done. Yes, Jesse.
Ashley said pre-ironing it helps also get rid of
Awesome. Oh yeah, that's a great call. Great call. Moisture is the enemy of sublimation, so that is a very good call indeed. All right, guys. Any other comments? Any questions? We got just a few minutes left with you guys.
Ashley said, honestly, love the product so much. So nice to work with quality blanks when I get home from a hard day at work.
There you go. Ashley, I have to say too, the first preview of your Build-A-Bundle went out today, and it got some high marks from all around. We might have to bug you for another one of those. So if you guys don't know what the Build-A-Bundle is, definitely ask Ashley, but also go to the website, and you'll be able to see all the different items that you can kind of add to your bundles because there are a few different ones that you can do. So lots of things on there for you guys, and definitely pretty cool. Yeah, I'm almost done, Jesse. I'm so sorry. After this.
I was trying to just put the build up on the right, but I'm not sure if I'm able to.
Awesome.
Like a set.
Maybe laser blanks or something like that might be what it's called. I know that's the one that we did. But yeah, this is just about done. I'm just making sure I got everything. And the way that I'm making sure is I'm really looking at the paper. What's cool is once you've sublimated, you can kind of see the colors like bleed through the other side. So it's definitely a good indicator to let you know what spots you covered, what you haven't, what you need to give a little bit more attention to, that kind of thing. So we're just going to go over it one more time and make sure. And then we'll peel this off and check it out. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Let's find out. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but you can already kind of see everything coming through. So see how you can already see that image? That's how I knew that it should be about done. So let's go ahead and peel it. What do we think, guys? Pretty neat. So we did a cup and we did our little tea towel all within about 30 minutes, start to finish. Hopefully that was pretty cool. But yeah, so thanks again for joining us, guys. Make sure you tune into the next live. We didn't see Mark or John here yet, so that buzzword is going to be happening on the next one. So tune in, get those flow points, and stay crafty.
Crap.